areas of development in early years are the building blocks for your child's future. By providing a strong foundation in these areas, we can help our children build the skills and resilience they need to succeed in school and beyond.
Furthermore, these areas of development are interconnected, meaning that progress in one area can lead to progress in others. For example, a child who has strong communication skills may find it easier to make friends, which can in turn boost their emotional and social development. And we talked about this in our last video.
Hello, I am Aruja.
Hi, I'm Isha.
And today we are going to look at two more areas of development, mathematical and literacy development, which both fall under the broad spectrum of cognitive development. Isha, is it really important for our babies to learn math? They're too small. And when I was young, I despised math.
Yes, Aruja, I totally get where you come from. And I'm sure that a lot of our viewers would also be nodding to this statement. But when we talk about mathematics, we don't really mean addition, multiplication, or tables. Mathematics is a fundamental skill that is essential for success in many areas of life. By introducing maths to children at a younger age, we can help them develop strong problem-solving skills, logical thinking, and a better understanding of the world around them.
But math isn't just important for academic success. It is also a valuable life skill that can help children with everyday tasks such as shopping, cooking, and managing money. By introducing math at a young age, we can help our children develop the confidence and competence they need to navigate the world around them. So let's shed some light on how they can teach maths to the children.
Definitely. So the first and one of the easiest ways to introduce maths to young children is by counting and by doing one-on-one correspondence. So what is one-on-one correspondence? One-on-one correspondence is the ability to count while pointing out to the object one at a time. For example, let's assume you're teaching the child number 5. So along with the symbol 5, you show them 5 objects or 5 fruits or 5 t-shirts so they can easily relate to the number to that many objects.
Right.
So this can be done, while you are counting objects, while you're counting steps. So, you just take your child to a staircase and you tell them to count 3 steps. So they're actually climbing 3 steps up and climbing them down again.
Yeah.
Or you do them, by number songs or rhymes. We have so many rhymes, online that we can use, to teach counting to our kids. And we can also do this, while we are cooking or while we are doing any of our daily tasks. So for example, if you're making a certain dish and you need a certain amount of vegetables, say tomatoes for example, you count them in front of your child before, chopping them or sauteing them. So that's a wonderful way of starting, the fundamentals of math.
Right. The second concept of math that you can focus on is sorting. So sorting is very important and it starts with a lot of different skills and different subjects that your child would be studying in the school later on. So sorting can be done in 4 ways. Firstly, it can be done by colors. Very easy. You can hand over some toys, some fruits, some clothes to your children and let them sort them by the colors. Red, blue, yellow, whatever. Then it can be through shapes. So now we have a lot of shapes, toys in shapes like stars, circles, squares. So you can just let the child have them and give them 4 containers and they can sort it according to the shape, that all the circles go here, all the stars go here. Then the third one, which is a little difficult one, is through size. So sorting through size. This your child can have a little difficulty in and would require your guidance. It can be done in 2 ways. One, you can hand them some objects which are heavier and lighter and let your child decide which one feels heavy and then they can sort it in one container and whichever feels light they can sort it in another. In the same way, you can have it as bigger sized objects or toys or smaller size, and this is another way of sorting. The fourth and the last way is through quantity. So give your child some fruits, some toys that are similar looking and let them put it in different containers again. So they can put 1 apple in 1 container, 2 oranges in another container, 3 bananas in another container. But what this will do is this will teach one very important concept but very simply to your child.
Another very important and efficient way of teaching maths to a toddler is through measurements. So measurement is when you take certain instruments or tools and you teach your child how to measure the length, height, width of a certain object, in its actual units, which is normally centimeters, liters, inches, etc. But obviously we can't do this with our young kids. So what we are going to do is we are going to teach them measurement in a fun way using tools that they have with themselves. For example, if you want to teach your child how to measure the length of a book that they have, right? So they have blocks at home. So you take a few blocks and you take a book. So you take that book and you place these blocks within the length of your book.
Right.
So let's assume that one book takes 5 blocks, right? So that's how the child is going to know that the length of the book is 5 blocks.
Right.
So that for them is the unit of measurement.
Yeah.
It's easy for them, they understand better, and it's just so convenient and fun.
Right.
So they can measure using their hand span, their finger span, or maybe if they want to just measure the length of their room, they can walk and measure using their feet as to how many steps do they take forward, and that's the measurement of their room.
Right. So next concept that we can dive into is pattern. Pattern can be understood in 3 ways, and pattern is all around us. So just take your child outside, and the first step is let them identify. Tell them how to identify a pattern. It can be through trees, it can be through cars, buildings, windows, anything that you want. But patterns are, like I said, everywhere. So it's very easy to be able to find it outside. So you can go and let your child identify different kind of pattern. It can be A, B, A, B, A, A, B, B, A, A, B, A, A, B, in any pattern. The second step towards it is creating pattern. Creating pattern can be done in 2 ways. It can be done through colors or shapes, which is visually. So you can give them different t-shirts, different clothes, different toys of different colors, and let them arrange it in a pattern. So blue color, then red, then blue, then red. It can be crayons and pens as well. The second way is musically. So let them create clapping, snapping, and alternate it so they can create some pattern. So they can hear the patterns also, and they can create these patterns. And the third step towards understanding patterns is breaking a pattern. So please, introduce a new object. So if your pattern is A, B, A, B, introduce a C. So they're able to break the pattern and understand what a pattern means more clearly.
And finally, I think the last tip or the last task that we are going to give our parents is through games. So, we find so many fun math games. We find them in books, we find them, all over the internet. So let's assume we are playing the game I Spy. So instead of playing it with colors or instead of playing it with objects, you can play it with numbers, where you can ask your child to locate 2 apples nearby, or maybe 3 trees in their surrounding, or maybe 4 children who are playing in the park. And that's how this also inculcates the one-to-one correspondence, because you are going to tell them the number and you are going to ask them to locate those many objects around them.
Right. So these are the 5 concepts that can help your child get introduced to maths. So I think our parents got good information on these 5 concepts of math that they can introduce to their young ones. Let's move on to the next area of development, literacy development.
Literacy is the foundation for learning to read, write, and understand language. By introducing literacy to children at a young age, we can help them develop the skills they need to communicate effectively, express their ideas and emotions, and navigate the world around them.
But literacy is about more than just reading and writing. It is also about developing a love of learning, a curiosity about the world, and a desire to explore and understand. Literacy helps children make connections between the things they learn and the world around them. In today's world, literacy is more important than ever. By introducing literacy at a young age, we can help our children develop the confidence and curiosity they need to become lifelong learners and achieve their full potential.
There are many ways to introduce literacy to young children. One of the best ways to introduce literacy to young children is by reading to them. So you take any book of your choice that your kid loves, which has like huge letters, which has huge images, vibrant images, and just read to them. So what happens is, even if they're not understanding what you're saying, it really helps them visualize. It helps them create a picture in their mind, and as soon as when they're trying to talk, it naturally comes to them.
Right.
So that's like a very, very important way of beginning, the literacy development in the child.
Yes. Another important way to introduce literacy is through conversation. Talk to your child about the world around them and encourage them to ask questions and express their idea. This can help develop their language skill and their understanding of the world. But one important advice from us is don't talk to your child in baby language. You don't have to change your tone, the words, the pitch, the accent. You just talk to them the way you would talk to any other adult. What it does is it helps your child explore and get observe, understand, and get introduced to different vocabulary that you have on a daily basis. But when we start talking to them the way they are responding to us, by blabbering, by changing the words, using a syllable, it's actually messing up with their vocabulary as well. So just stick to your language and talk to them as much.
Another important literacy skill is writing. I know it sounds very difficult, but you can definitely introduce it to your young child. Begin by asking them, to start scribbling maybe on a sand tray or a semolina tray. They can start with scribbling numbers or letters if they know, or simply just scribble right to left, and or left to right. And that's how, it gives them a grip of writing. Gradually, as and when your child grows, you can hand them with pencils, crayons, markers, paint brushes, which will definitely help them enhance their writing skills. And this is very important if it starts at a younger age than later on during the years when the child is very rigid with his fine muscle movements.
Yeah. Singing is a fun and engaging way to introduce literacy to young children. Many children's songs include words and ideas that can help develop language skills and enhance vocabulary. Singing together can also be a great bonding experience for you and your child.
Playing with letters and words is another fun way to introduce literacy to younger children. You can start by pointing out things, in their environment and their surroundings, such as on signs, on labels, or on books. And as and when, your child gets older, you can do this in a more structured manner through, alphabet books, through story books, or through flashcards.
Right. Lastly, you can always enhance their vocabulary by labeling objects. As you go about your day, point out objects in the environment and say their names out loud. Encourage your child to repeat the words and explain the meaning of the words they may not know. So parents, that's it for today's session. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos to gain more such interesting and beneficial information.
Till then, take care, have fun with your little one, and see you soon.